everyone, and welcome to Sunup. I'm Lyndall Stout. The arrival of spring is a good time to start the conversation about potential diseases and viruses in Oklahoma wheat fields during the growing season. We begin with our extension wheat pathologist, Bob Hunger.
Well, in Oklahoma this past fall and through the winter, of course, it was extremely dry and the temperatures were fairly cold. That was the case down in Texas as well, and so there just hasn't been that buildup of inoculum of the rust to come blowing up into Oklahoma as there typically is. So they just have not had the inoculum to blow up and cause the foliar diseases up here.
So we don't expect to see that widespread this growing season like we have in the past?
Probably, probably not, especially of stripe rust, because for stripe rust to get bad in Oklahoma, it usually has to be seen in Oklahoma by late February or early March, and I haven't had any reports of that at all. Leaf rust could still come because it's a rust that does a little better in warmer temperatures, and so if they do get moisture in Texas and then we get it across Oklahoma as well, that'll help build up the rust. But it's just starting to get warm enough now, and the wheat has started growing again, so the canopy has covered over and it'll increase humidities, which is a little bit more conducive for disease, but there still may be a problem of not having the inoculum.
At this stage, what kind of advice do you have for producers between now and harvest in terms of scouting and other production advice?
Well, certainly keep an eye on the weather. All growers will do that for sure. We start getting more and more rains, hopefully we will, because that will really perk the wheat up. And then of course when you have those kinds of conditions, that'll be more favorable for the foliar diseases. So watch for that. Scout for aphids, because there are some of those around. And of course the aphids transmit barley yellow dwarf virus, and be aware of that and watchful of that. Watch for the reports from Texas. I send out a wheat disease update about every week, sometimes every 10 days. That gets posted on David Marburger's post, blog, and so on and so forth. And just be aware of what's going on in listening for reports of foliar diseases.
And is there a time during this process, if there are some things discovered in the scouting, to engage with the county extension office to get some guidance on that?
Oh sure, especially the viruses, because if they're wheat streak could show up. We never know for sure how heavy the mite population was, the wheat curl mites were in the fall. And the symptoms of that virus don't start showing up until you get consistently into the 80s, so that may show up, and it would be good to know if you have that going on in your field. And so watch for any kind of symptoms and get with the county educators, and they will be glad to diagnose samples that are sent in.
Okay, thanks a lot, Bob. And for more information on wheat diseases and viruses, just go to sunup.okstate.edu.